I love computers. We're good?
Yep.
Okay, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Team Time. I got my partner Andy over there at the computer. This is Karen, and it's Sunday night, so it's time to train you on something new that's going to make a huge difference in your business. Before we get started, I do want everybody that's new to just understand the format. This is called Team Time, and it is our Sunday night regular commitment that Andy and I have made to help you across the country on our team to just really connect and get some topics and trainings poured into you every week. So we're committed to the consistency of these trainings, and we're really proud of those of you who are also committed to your own business by hopping on. Okay, so we are going to end a little bit early tonight, just so you know, at about 9:20 or so. I'm hoping to be finished because we do have a 9:30 phone call for the city of Houston. So just wanted you to know that. But here's what we're going to do tonight. I have two main concepts that I want to talk to you about tonight. And if you've been to any citywide training, really anywhere in the nation, you've probably seen and heard about these concepts before. But I felt like tonight it was really important to review them. If you're new, this will empower you very, very much. If you've been in the business a while, remember, it's always good when you hear a training that you've already heard. Number one, to think about where you are in your own business and check yourself. Look in the mirror and really be honest and take a bold assessment of whether or not you're truly implementing this training that you've heard before. But where are you with the commitment to the process? And number two, if you are absolutely hands down doing what we're talking about tonight, I'm hoping you don't check out, because you become a better teacher and a better mentor every time you recommit to something and learn it a little bit better, because you can check yourself on that too. Does your team really understand these concepts? Because this could be the next training you do for them if they don't. Okay, so we're going to walk through a couple of things. Now, here's why I chose this concept tonight. We have Regional Success School in January. Andy and I just got back from Seaside with all the other diamonds and platinums, double diamonds, and the triple diamonds, Sandy and Diane, in corporate office, and we were planning for your futures. And we were, that's absolutely an honor, and the time we spend there, we just think about you all the time. But of course, there's a lot of things going on where our focus is Regional Success School, because that is absolutely hands down how we build our business, from success school to success school, okay? And so we want to be able to help you fill the seats. But one thing that I want to make sure you all understand is that does not happen by chance. In order for you to enter into January Success School with many more people than you had at the last school, or maybe this is your first school and you're going to enter with a team, in order for you to enter with more legs represented, more width in your business, more depth in your business, you have to be extremely intentional. Okay, and so that's what the concepts that we're going to talk about are all about tonight. Just reminders about what we do and how we do things in such an intentional manner that we actually grow our business and don't feel like we're spinning our wheels. Okay, so one of the things I want you to understand also is, as I'm doing this training tonight, I believe that if you will grab hold of it, along with just doing the things you should be doing on a daily basis to grow yourself personally, to stay committed to the AdvoCare process, if you will be in action, I believe that you will be able to move at least 2 pin levels by January school, and coming out of school with as many people as I believe you're going to bring. And if you're brand new, that might mean that you're bringing 3 legs of business. If you are at Ruby and you want to be a diamond, it means you're bringing over 100 people and at least 12 to 15 legs of business or more. Okay, so just remember, start where you are and have a vision for where you want to be. But I want you to do, the first thing is to take your journals and to write down these 2 things: Ladies Alive and Regional Success School. Okay, Ladies Alive and Regional Success School. And right now, before we even move forward, I want you to put a check mark next to the events that you have already personally registered for. Okay, So if you're registered for Ladies Alive and Regional Success School, you have check marks on both of those. If you have not registered for one or either of those events or both of those events, and you have a desire to earn income for your business, for your family with Advocare, then I'm going to encourage you and really strongly recommend that you register for both of those events online tonight. Okay? Because the reality is that if you truly want to and desire to earn income in Advocare, those are just a must in your business, and it's so important that your heart is committed to them, that your checkbook is already committed to them. Neither of them cost much money, but when you pay and commit financially to something, you're more likely to every day work towards what will happen when you get there. So I want you to just do that for yourself right now, and by the end of tonight or tomorrow night, give yourself a little bit of time. I'm also going to encourage you to absolutely know, without a shadow of a doubt, who on your team is registered. So start to look at your team, or if it's larger than that, your organization, and find out who's going, which leaders on your team are already registered. Ask them the same question. Find out who you have in your group that's asking you for help, that's asking you to earn income with Advocare, and ask them, are you registered for these? Let's get you registered right now. Because sometimes what we've seen in Advocare is people just leave that to chance. They're excited about it, but they're not intentional about it. So just remember that, Ladies Alive and Regional Success School. Okay, so I'm going to have a combination of the camera, which I just love now. It's just my favorite thing to do, is sitting in front of a camera. No, I'm just kidding. But I love the fact that I really believe I'm looking into your eyes when I'm on the camera. But I am going to use some slides, and here's why. We did a training recently in Houston, and these are some of the slides that we used in Houston. And I know that so many of you don't get to be at those, and so I wanted to go over some of the concepts with everybody. But if you're in the Houston event, please, again, don't check out, because it's really important for you to continue to move with this kind of clarity. The other thing I want you to understand is that I'm talking about Regional Success School right now. Okay, our goal is to help you fill rows and rows of people at Regional Success School. But tonight, I'm going to be 100% focused on Ladies Alive. Okay, I'm holding the card in my hand right now. Ladies Alive is the only major promotion that you want to be talking about on a daily basis right now. So, do you need to be registered for regional school? Absolutely. Do you want to know and have your team members committed? Those people that are in the game? Absolutely. But we never promote one major event at the same time we promote another, for a couple of reasons. One, sometimes it just flat out confuses people, especially if they're new and they don't know what's more important. And number two, when you give people both major events at the same time, even though you understand that both of those events are important and that you're going to be going to both of those events, you lose the art of promotion, and somebody that's newer may just choose one over the other. Okay? So even though I spoke to you about Regional Success School, I'm really here mentoring you right now, and I want you to understand that now it's time to focus on Ladies Alive. I believe there's 52 days left for the Houston Ladies Alive. You want to have tremendous clarity on where the Ladies Alives are across the nation. If you have business anywhere in those places, and make sure you know where to find the dates and where to find the times. I'm holding a Ladies Alive card. There are events all across the nation starting in late October and going all the way through mid-November. Okay, so we want to talk about that. So I'm going to talk to you about a few concepts that are going to help you. Now, the other thing I want you to understand is that there are business opportunity meetings in cities all across this nation, citywide trainings. There's all kinds of events that we always are moving people towards, and that's what I'm going to teach you tonight. If I mention Houston, it's just because I live here. I'm going to try really hard to just stay broad, because you can just find the event near you by just going online. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But let's move to the first slide. And really what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about why, when you set out to be intentional with your business, you will get better results. You know, we are intentional right now. We want you all to move forward with your business. And so I thought about a few words that I think if you can just grab hold of these 4 concepts and you just think through them day after day and just check yourself on where you are with each of these concepts, you're always going to improve, because what you pay attention to improves. What you pay attention to improves. Okay, so let me talk about these 4 words, and I'm going to talk about them, you know, briefly, but in a way that I know is going to make a lot of sense to you. Okay, and the first word is vision. See, here's the thing about Advocare. No, I'm sorry. I meant, go back to the slide. I want them to be able to have the slide. Thanks. Here's the thing about Advocare. The people in Advocare that are so successful all the time, it's because they think differently. Okay, you have to remember that. Your thoughts are going to directly produce how many people follow you in Advocare. So what are you thinking about? If you're strong in certain areas in your mindset, people will be attracted to that and you will succeed here. And the first one is vision. Do you really understand how important vision is? Y'all, I want you to think about where you want to be by Regional Success School. And again, remember, we're going to promote Ladies Alive, and that's going to get more seats filled for Regional Success School. But do you know what income you want? Have you sat down and made a plan yet in your mind of exactly where you plan on being, how many team members you want there, what you want your income to be, why you want your income to be at that level? It's time for you to really and truly not just catch the vision of Advocare, but re-look at and really define your vision for your family, okay? And where you want it to be, what you want it to look like by the time school comes. Okay, the second word is commitment. And the reason I want to talk about commitment, first and foremost, of course, this is a long haul business, and sometimes we lose sight of that. And when we have a failure during the day or a slow pay period, we get discouraged. And I want you to remember that this is a long haul business, and stay encouraged by that. Okay, stay encouraged by that. However, the other thing I want you to think about with commitment is, are you committed to your own vision? You know, there's a lot of people that come and go here and they lay Advocare to the side, or they just don't do it anymore, and it's because they lost sight of their own vision. So I want to just encourage you tonight to commit to your vision. Be someone who commits, because if you commit, then you will bring other people along. And you know, when we recruit people, we promise them that we're going to help them. So committing to your own vision will in turn be a promise kept to the people that you recruit. So all in all, both of those things are going to move you forward. Okay, now the third word is consistency. And this is just my favorite word in Advocare, because you know, the bottom line is, you can look at different businesses across the nation and they all look a little bit different, and some people are tremendously creative, and some people have a lot of strength and power when it comes to the sports performance aspects of Advocare, and their trainers. There's all kinds of different people, but I will tell you that it doesn't matter where your strengths lie as long as you're committed and consistent with what you're doing. And to me, consistency is all that really matters, because you never have to worry about what anybody else is doing. The founder of our company used to say, it doesn't matter what anybody else does, it only matters what you do. And so if you begin to really commit to the daily disciplines of Advocare, every day counts. Every day, between now and Ladies Alive, between now and Success School, every little thing that you do matters. And if you can really commit and believe that your own personal consistency is going to get you the victory, if you can believe that, I promise you it will happen, okay? And it's just so important for you to understand. And then the last one is leadership. And the one thing I want to say about leadership is this. Don't be down on yourself, okay? You know, don't look to somebody who has 100 people on their team and think, I only have 2. Because here's the bottom line. If you have one person that you've introduced Advocare to and they want something out of it and you commit to lead them, you're a leader. If you have 1,000 people on your team but you're not committed to lead them, it doesn't mean you're a leader just because there's 1,000 people who are enrolled through you. You determine your leadership by your commitment to lead others and to serve others. So those are the things I want you to keep in mind, because when your mindset is clear, you will get into action. Okay, I hope that helps you. All right, now what I want you to understand from here is the first concept. Okay, I promised you that I was going to teach you 2 concepts tonight. And the first concept, like I said, you've probably seen this over and over and over again, but I want you to understand it one more time. I want you to remember to draw it out for people. I want you to think about every person that you've talked to about Advocare, and every pay period, get down on paper again, or on your whiteboard, or somewhere where you are clear on where each person is, where they are in this process. So Andy, if you'll put that slide up, this is something that's so important in Advocare. This is the process that we walk people through in Advocare. Now, I'm not teaching the success system on this particular Ustream tonight, but what I really wanted to get into you tonight is, are you consistently thinking about where people are that you've spoken to, gotten started, or are helping in Advocare? Do you know where they are in the process? Are you thinking in terms of what you're seeing on the screen? And let me just walk through it in case you're brand new. That P are the people you know, the prospects in your life. Your business continually, and it will never end, is a business of people. We're a relationship business, okay? So I call a prospect, the way I define a prospect is any person you know that could benefit from Advocare products or business opportunity. You know, we don't know if they will choose to, but that pretty much, you know, can cover a lot of people in your life, right? Those are the prospects. And when you share Advocare through Advocare's system, through our normal system of success, using the basic fundamentals, and if you don't know what those are yet, remember to start talking to and working with your leader. You don't want to do Advocare alone, but when you're working with your leader and you've got people or prospects that you begin to talk to, you're going to have appointments that you set. You're going to create interest and set appointments. You're going to sample, spark, follow up, and set appointments. You're going to call someone, let them know what you're excited about, tell them you thought of them, and set appointments to show them Advocare. Well, once you show them Advocare, they're going to get to see what we have to offer. They're going to see all of Advocare, and they're going to choose whether they want to be a customer, a distributor, an advisor, or a business builder, right? And so that's what you're seeing on the screen. And when you get people to move to that advisor level over and over and over again, sharing the business, using your sponsor, third-party credibility, telling the stories of Advocare, getting product in people's bodies and following up correctly so they understand what we have to offer. When you are able to get people to see the benefits of advisor and moving into the business, now they've opened up 5 streams of income, their life starts getting changed, they introduce Advocare to people, and it begins all over again with the people they know. When you introduce Advocare to somebody, do you show them these arrows, this diagram? Do you let them understand this is the process? So what I want to challenge you on is understanding that. You know, really getting it in your mind that once I get someone started on products and they're a C, that doesn't mean they stay a C forever. The fortune's in the follow-up. We're going to follow up with people. We're going to help them with their products and show them more, move them into another event. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is that you're really going to understand that people move through that process at their own timing, okay? Not when you want. See, it's not about what you want for them. It's about what they want. Your job is to simply be the messenger, to help them, and to continue to remember that somebody who may be a distributor at 20% today, who comes to an event because you're understanding that people move through the process, all of a sudden becomes a business builder. They might be the next champion on your team. All of a sudden you are realizing, wow, this is the process that never fails. And so we want you to think about that, and I want you to think about it like a snowball. Okay? When I'm from New England, okay, and I think about snowmen, and I was thinking about a snowball the other day and realizing that is so true in Advocare, that what starts off small, and you just, think about a snowball. I remember being out there with my sisters and we were building snowmen, and it's just this small little snowball. As you roll it and roll it and roll it, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you do that correctly, all of a sudden you have this strong snowman that doesn't even go away when it stops snowing. It doesn't even go away completely when it rains or when the sun comes out. Those big, well-packed, correctly made snowmen stay forever. There's stability in it, and that's what we want your business to be like. Okay? So just think of it like that. Now, Andy's going to put up another slide right now. And the reason he's going to put up the next slide is because I want you to understand what the power of Ladies Alive is going to do for Regional Success School. Okay, and remember I told you that Ladies Alive is the big event that you want to be talking about right now. Okay, but we can't even get people to Ladies Alive unless we understand that when you're moving people through the P to C to D to A to BB, and you're following up, and I'm not going to have Andy put the slide back up, but you do remember, of course, that sometimes you talk to a prospect and they immediately become a business builder on day one. You're always looking for that. You're never going to stop looking for that. It is what you want in Advocare. But the reality is that not everybody starts that way. And that's why that process is so important. Because there's so many times where even though we show everybody the big picture, we show people everything Advocare has to offer, and we tell them the stories, and we let them know where we're going, and we invite them to join us, sometimes they don't at the beginning move right to a business builder. Sometimes they just get on product, but later on down the road they turn into a business builder. Sometimes they become advisors on the first day, but they don't quite do business building activity. They're just there as an advisor and maybe really in the hobby role. Okay, so just remember that's a process, and that's just up to you moving people to what the slide is that you're looking at now. You see, because here's what happens, and this, I want you to really capture this on this slide. Okay, these are really important things to think about. Your business is built from event to event, but you have to remember that you are the beginning of all that. Again, everything you do on a daily basis with your consistency in your business is most important, because there's sometimes when we see that there's a big event, we tend to think, I'm just going to invite everybody to that. And then there's a disappointment when people don't come. But the reality of our business is it's all the work you do before that that will get the seats filled. So let me talk about this slide a little bit. Okay, we have something called a daily method of operation, and you know that you have a piece of paper right in your Steps for New Distributor packet on our Team Belief website, and that helps you to know what activities you should be doing on a daily basis. And so that very first thing on the slide that you see is daily seeds. And the reason I put it that way instead of daily method of operation is because I wanted to talk to you about the fact that you are sowing seeds out there into the marketplace. We have an incredible, incredible opportunity in Advocare. And our job is to do the little things every day that can turn into a big business. And so the seeds are the activities that you do. The one-on-one appointments where you sit and you present Advocare to someone. Or the two-on-one appointments if you're brand new and you're using your leader right away to present Advocare so that you have the credibility of your leader. Okay? It is the three-way phone call that you do when you talk to somebody that's interested and you ask them to show them more, and then you say, here's what I want to do next. Here's what we'll do next. I want you to meet the person helping me. I can't wait for you to hear their story. That's a 3-way phone call. These things are really important. Inviting someone on a web clip, retailing products. See, these are the things that you do every day, and you're sowing seeds. And then from there, we've got to water those seeds. Okay, we've got to water those seeds. We bring people to mixers. Do you know that you're much more likely to get someone to a mixer who's already had some of the daily seeds? They've had some product in their body. They've seen a few clips or some pictures from a magazine. They've talked to your leader. Now they want to know more. Okay, so now when I see the word mixer there, one thing to remind you of is that's not you only bringing people to your leader's mixers. But remember, we're talking about this all the time on our Ustreams. You do the mixers. You can. We believe in you. We know you can. And the more you do them, the better you'll get at them, okay? Now, after mixers, we've got to move people into Saturday trainings, okay? Now, again, yes, sometimes in your area, there's a large Saturday training. But those aren't what I'm talking about here. On this slide, I'm talking about the fact that you may have planted some seeds, watered those seeds, gotten somebody to go to a mixer. They've said, now I'm interested in more. I want to know how to do this business. And that may be 1 or 2 new distributors that you've recruited during a pay period. You move them into your own Saturday training. And it doesn't have to be on a Saturday, but that's basically the kind of the process we typically do. But just think about that. If you don't wait for the large city Saturday trainings, but you understand, wait a minute, now I get it. It's me doing the little things, getting people to see more at the mixers that I'm doing, bringing my new distributors together at the kitchen table or in my living room to train them on the basics. And you can use the videos that are online to train them if you're new. It's okay, but you're taking ownership of the business. Then what happens from there is you've got some people that are perfect to bring to the large city meetings. You know, the founder of our company always said that the very best people that we see results with, that you bring to a citywide business opportunity meeting or training, are those that have already said yes to Advocare. They already maybe have even become advisors, but when they get there, they see the bigger picture. You know, those large events are feeding people belief. The things you do between the events get people to the large events. But what those events do is it grows people's belief, okay? And from there, we move them to the next event and we begin again. Now, we do want you to understand that Ladies Alive is what our cycle is all pointing towards right now. So I want you to just imagine that it says all activity leads to Ladies Alive, okay? Even though, and thank you, Andy, we can go ahead and switch off, even though it says Success School, and here's why. The ultimate goal of all our activity is to move people into school, because we grow our business from school to school, okay? But put Ladies Alive in there right now, and here's why. If you can focus on all of these activities and fill the seats in Ladies Alive. And by the way, if you're a man out there right now, just understand this is not an event that you kind of lay back on because it's a ladies event. You want to drive your business the exact same way, because you all, even when you're recruiting men, etc., they know women. They're married to women. There's all kinds of women out there in your group. Your team needs to be all focused on Ladies Alive right now. And I know you know that, but it's just a reminder in case you're new. Okay, let me talk about a couple of important concepts. And I wrote them down just so I wouldn't forget them. So I'm going to look down here and talk to you about this. We know our business is built in layers, okay? So one of the things to think about is the reason that we plant the seeds and then we move people into mixers, and then we train them, and then we move them into maybe a city business opportunity meeting, or you know, any of those city trainings, and then into the next event, all leading to Ladies Alive, is because people, it's historically this way. Our founder talked about this. They come to really own this business and really grow in this business with multiple layers of exposure. So that's what that cycle is all about. And the more people you expose to Advocare, The more people you connect with, the more people you build relationships with, the more people you help, you're just fertilizing and fertilizing and fertilizing that beautiful growing group, that team. Okay? And that's the goal. And then as your team moves from event to event, now they're growing in their level of belief, not only by seeing the rest of the city growing, but that the team is growing too. And that's where you're really, really going to get the best results for your large group meetings. Okay, so I just want you to understand that we're trying to help solidify the belief of the people in your organization that have said yes. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in layers. Just like moving someone from prospect to customer all the way to business builder sometimes happens in layers. Once we have our business builders, we've got to cultivate and help them understand what they really have their hands on here. Okay? So again, I want you to think about you building that snowman. Okay? You can't skip a step here. Okay? You cannot build a snowball this big all at once. It has to be done a little at a time, consistency. So Andy, I'm going to just put you on that last slide. And if you were in Houston, you saw this slide the other day. But I'll tell you what, I love this slide. I absolutely want you to catch that right there. We are all capable of moving to the next level. No matter where you are in your business, don't compare yourself to anybody else, but challenge yourself to be the best you can be. Challenge yourself to get clear on your vision. Get a new vision if you don't think it's big enough right now. And that's really kind of pulling at your heart. Like when I talk about vision, you get a little pit in your stomach. That is okay. That just means you know it's time for you to get a bigger vision. So get that clear and get committed to that vision and committed to your business and committed to your team. Be consistent with daily disciplines that it takes to get more and more people to Ladies Alive and lead. You be the leader. You do the mixers. You do the trainings. Don't wait for anyone else. That doesn't mean separate yourself from your leaders. You want to stay connected to the vine at all times. You want to stay connected to the team. It strengthens everybody. But you get stronger and stronger as you lead others. And you know what? If you'll stay focused on those 4 words and stay clear on those 2 concepts, that we move people through a process and that the cycle of our business moves from what we do daily to larger group events, and they all lead to Ladies Alive, and then the same thing will happen for regional. You're going to move 2 pin levels by next successful. You're going to be in Belize with Andy and I on the beach and all the other great diamonds and 9 stars that are putting that trip on. You can do this. So that's really what I wanted to talk to you about. I didn't remember at the beginning to remind you that you can text in questions. So if you want to text in any questions at all, we've got some time. The number is 281-844-4591. And my number, well, it's okay. We just text to Andy. And I'll tell you what, honey, why don't you put one of those slides back up so they don't just have to stare at me waiting for the questions since we have them today. I know, go ahead and put that Belize slide up. I'm just going to entice you a little bit with all right, you can hear me. You're staring at Belize. Anybody want to text in anything before we say goodbye? We're going to wait a few minutes. And in case you hopped on late, I did not train on Belize. We're just enticing you with those gorgeous pictures because we want to play with you on the beach. All right.
Mind about your ladies' call?
All right. So guys, I think I'm going to just go ahead, Andy, you can clip on me for a minute. Okay. I'm going to say goodnight to you all. Again, we're having a blast with Team Time. If you have any topics that you wished we were training on, you can email us and we will train you on whatever it is that you guys desire. These Team Times are for you. And we want to thank you, those of you that have been faithful, those of you that have been sending in questions. Like we said before, we will keep doing these Ustreams as long as y'all keep hopping on. God bless you, and we'll talk to you next Sunday night.